Hello! Today we're going to make some Christmas Petit Fours, which is actually one of my favorite things to make around the holidays, because usually you go to parties and you don't really want to take a whole cake unless you do something like a Yule log, which is always good. People love that, but usually it's finger foods and Petit Fours are great. So what we need to start with first is the cake, okay? And I just use regular cake, white or chocolate cake. It doesn't have to be any particular type of a sponge cake. For the ones that we're going to do today. So this is a baking sheet tray that a lot of bakeries use. It looks a little different than when you make your sheets. You usually have like 2 inches, and this is about a 1-inch pan. You can get these at, we have Smart and Final out here on this coast. You can get them at restaurant supply stores, places like that. And what it is, I just put I put shortening around the edge of the pan, and then usually an X in the middle, and then I line it with a piece of parchment paper just in the center like this, and then just pour your cake batter. And if you're just using box cake mix, it's just one box, and if it's pouring batter in, 5 to 6 cups of cake batter will usually do it for these, because you don't want this to actually you don't want the cake to be too high, because they're usually small cakes. Okay, so I take this out, and this has been, I had this actually in the freezer. You usually need to put it right in the freezer after you bake it. And then what I want to do is I just want to level out the top. So I just take a very sharp knife and make it nice and level here. Okay, and then you want to get rid of that the excess cake just off to the side. Now I'm going to just go ahead and cut this in half, and then I'm going to take some filling. And the white ones I like to put lemon filling. In the chocolate cake, a lot of times I like to put a raspberry filling. You just want a thin layer of filling. We are just going to have 2 layers of cake and 1 layer of filling. Some Petit Fours will have 3 layers of cake and 2 layers of filling. And if you want to do that, then you have to have your cake be even thinner than this is. Okay, so that's good for the filling. Take this piece and go ahead and place it on top of this one. Push down firmly. Take your spatula and kind of get that excess off the edges. Okay, and see, this is the paper that was on the bottom of the pan, and I've still got the paper here. So I usually keep them together like this, and I'll even take another piece of parchment, wrap these up. Maybe we could put a little bit of lemon there so this will stick. And then I go ahead and put this back on the sheet tray, and then we have to have it completely frozen, okay, because we have to actually cut our squares and then dip them. We're going to be dipping them in a chocolate truffle. So this has to be firm. If we try to do it right now, it's too soft, so the cake will actually just crumble and make a big mess in your chocolate. So this will go back into the freezer, and I'll melt down the chocolate, and we'll be ready to dip.